Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, welcome. Come on in and join the family. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and remember the notification bell so you could be reminded every time I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I create lovely DIYs using mostly items that I find at the Dollar Tree. I try to keep my DIYs budget friendly but easy to do. I hope everyone is well, and I hope everyone is staying safe, and I hope everyone is crafting. If you want to see more of my holiday creations, then keep watching. Hello my friends, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I want to say first thank you to everyone for your get well wishes. I am struggling with my sinuses right now, but they are doing better and things could be worse, so I'm blessed. For this first DIY, I'll be using one of these tall glass vases from the Dollar Tree. I have a little tea light. I'll be using one of these berry picks from the Dollar Tree, and I have some other items here that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. I have these sticks. I love these sticks. You get this pack here for $2, and I love the color of these. You can also use the ones from Dollar Tree, or you can pick up some from outside, but I love these. I have this cute little pick here from Hobby Lobby, and this pick was $1.50. I think it is so cute. And I will be using some of my buffalo check ribbon. Now I got this roll from Walmart, and this one was $3.98 for 30 feet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on this first DIY. I'm just going to take these sticks and I'm going to drop them down in the bottom of this vase, and I just want to put enough of them in there where they're tight and they're not moving around. What I'm doing is just pushing them down in there as much as can fit, because I want to make sure it's tight, and the ones that don't fit, I'll just pull those out. And then I'm going to take that buffalo check ribbon and I'm going to add it to the middle of this vase. I'm going right where the sticks ends. And so I'm just going to put the ribbon there and cover that up. I do not want to add glue all around this vase. I don't want anything to seep through. So what I'm doing is just adding a little glue here, and then I'm just going to tighten up the ribbon and glue it down. And I'm going to add a little glue to the rim part of this ribbon, the black wire part, in some spots just to make sure that it stays. And I'm just going to cut off the excess ribbon and make sure that everything is tightened. And so after I make sure that everything is tacked down, I'm going to go in and I am going to glue that holiday pick right to the top of the vase by the ribbon, and I'm just going to clip the stem off. I usually cut all of my little pieces off of the pick and glue them down separate, but I'm just going to glue this down whole, and I'll just stretch my leaves and my pieces around where I want them and tack them down with some glue. And then after I get that secure, what I'm going to do is clip off a few of these berries, and I'm going to add some berries right in the center. I love these berries for the holiday. I tend to add them to so many of my projects because I love the way they look for Christmas. And I'm just going to clip off a little more of these berries and add them. And I'm going to add enough hot glue to make sure that they stay. And now after I finish that, all I have to do now is just drop my little tea light right on top of my sticks. That's why I like these sticks, because they are flat. They are all the same size. And so I can just add my little tea light right to the top of the sticks, and this DIY will be complete. And I really do like how this turned out. So simple, but it looks very high end. And what I'm going to do is get started on the next DIY for today. And this is another high end DIY that I'm creating using this Dollar Tree sign here. I love these signs because you can use them for so many different DIYs. I have some poster letters. Some other items is this bow here. This was 98 cents at Walmart, and I've already used pieces off of here, so I'm going to be using more for this DIY. I have this cute little pick here from Hobby Lobby for $1.50. I love those logs on there. And I have this cute pick here, and I paid $2 for this one from Hobby Lobby, and I love that it bends. This is so cute. And my favorite scrap paper from Hobby Lobby. These are for $4, and this is one of my favorites. The first thing that I'm going to do is remove this little metal hanging piece from this sign, and I will put this back, even though the way I'm going to decorate my sign you won't see it, but I'll put it back. I'm just sanding off of some of this glitter so that my scrapbook paper can stick to it better, and I'm just going to trace it out. And when I get to the top part, I'm just going to eyeball a cut across there. And so what I'm going to do now is just cut the paper off, and when I get to the top, I'm just going to go straight across because I'm not tracing the whole design. And so now that I'm at the top, I'm just going to go straight across, and then I'm adding my glue, my Posh to the paper as well as to the sign. I like to add the glue to both because that way it helps eliminate any bubbles. So I'm just trying to make sure that the glue is evenly spread across this sign as well as the paper. And then I'm just gonna place the paper right on top, trying to line it up. Now I did cut it out a little bigger because I actually like to go around my sign and sand some paper off because it seems like it gives me a more smoother edge. So what I do is I just take my little sandpaper and go around it because the extra paper would just fall off, but it, for some reason, it makes me feel like I'm getting a more even, smooth edge. Because I actually would rather for it to be too big than small and then some of the wood show. So I'm just going around it and all the paper just falling off, and so now it's on there pretty smooth. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out all of my items that I'm going to decorate this sign with. I am going with a lot of layering for this, and for this piece I am going to cut all of these off, and I'm going to add these on separate because I want to add a lot of layers. That's going to give the high-end look that I'm going for. And I'm just attaching my metal hanging piece back to this sign. And now what I'm going to do is start layering my pieces, and I'm going to go in with these buffalo check pieces first, and these are the ones that I clipped off that bow, and I'm just going to add 4 of these. And after I get these 4 pieces down, the next item I'm going to take is that little wreath with the bendable leaves, and I'm going to glue that right on top of the bow. And what I'm doing is just layering pieces. I really like the look of so many different items just layered on top of each other. And so after I do that, I'm just going to go in and start layering the leaves that I clipped off right on top of this. And then after I get all of the leaves on there, I'm going to go in with the little Christmas tree branches. And after I get those branches tacked down, I am going to go in and add those 2 pine cones. I'm going to add those pine cones on the side because what I'm going to do is take those log pieces and I'm going to glue those in the middle. I do love the color of those log pieces. My next DIY, I'm actually going to try to distress it to where it'll look like these pieces. And so I'm just going to glue those down right in the middle. And once I have everything tacked down, then I am going to move in with my poster letters, and I am going to add the word joy. And I love how this is turning out. I wanted these to have like this high-end buffalo check look to them. And I'm just going to go on top of these letters and some of the paper with my Mod Podge, just making sure that everything is sealed. And then after I do this, I am going to take some jute cord and just string it through the hook at the top so I can be able to hang this sign. And I'm just taking a piece and clipping it off, and I'm just going to tie a little knot, leaving a little hoop, and then I'm just going to cut off the hanging string. And then once I complete that, this DIY will be done. And I do like how this turned out. This is so pretty. I love this scrapbooking paper. And so I'm going to move on to the next DIY. And what I'll be using is 2 of these little wooden trays from the Dollar Tree. I have 2 bunches of these white Christmas flower picks. These are so pretty. And then I have 2 other Christmas picks with the acorns and the berries attached to them. For this DIY, I was originally going to use a stencil, but I'll be using one of these words off this stencil for my last DIY. I will be using more of the buffalo check ribbon, and I will be using some antique wax chalk paint and some cashew color, and I will be going in with a little bit of white acrylic paint. The first thing I'm going to do is glue these 2 trays together because I'm trying to create a wooden box. And so I'm just going to add my hot glue along the sides so that I can glue these straight together facing each other. I'm just removing these stickers so that I can paint this box. And once I get the stickers removed, I'm going to go in with that antique wax color and I'm going to paint the box. And after I get this color all over there, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in with that cashew color chalk paint, and I'm going to distress over this color very heavily because what I'm trying to do is create this very worn out look. I'm trying to mimic the color on those logs that I had on the previous DIY on my joy sign. So I want to kind of make this look very weathered, very worn. So I'm just going to be dropping like little pieces of paint and then distressing it because that's giving me like really worn out spots all through this box. And I'm going to continue this all around it. And I'm just going to continue brushing and distressing and dropping little paints here and there. And once I feel that I have it distressed enough, I will go in with some of that white acrylic paint. And I'm just going to go over those colors just to brighten it up in some areas. And I'm going to do that all around this box as well. I'm really just trying to really achieve a really worn out look. So just going to continue distressing this. And then after I feel like I got to the desired look, I'm going to take that buffalo check ribbon and I am going to go around this box just like it was if it was a present. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the ribbon right next to the opening. I don't want to cover the openings because I'm actually going to insert my floral in those, and I'm just going to glue it down. I'm not taking the glue all the way down the ribbon because I don't want anything to seep through, but what I'm going to do is once I get it attached to the bottom, I'm going to go in with the glue and just add glue along the wiring part, the black part of the ribbon, and I'm not going to actually go on the ribbon in the inside, and I'm going to do that each time I add the ribbon. And so what I'm going to do is add the ribbon on the side the same way. I'm going to attach it from the top, and then I am going to stretch it and pull it down, and I'm going to add some glue at the bottom and attach it. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to go along the wiring part with some hot glue. So after I attach it to the bottom, I'm going to clip it off and make sure I add enough to glue, and then I'm going to go along each side again under the little black wiring part. And I'm going to add ribbon to each side of this box, so I'm going to do the same thing to this side as well as the other side until I have all 4 sides added. And so now that I have all my ribbon added, I'm just going to clip 2 notches down right here off of each one of these bunches, and then I'm just going to add them to this box, and I'm going to push them all the way down, and I'm just going to fluff them out and make sure that I have the berries able to be shown, and I'm just going to make sure that everything is pushed down far into this box. And then this DIY will be complete. And I am liking how this turned out. This is so cute. I really love it. And so now I'm going to move on to the last DIY for today. I'm going to create my stand first, and I'll be using 2 of those wooden trays. I have one of these picture frame wooden pedestals, some of these little cubes, and I'll be using that antique wax color and this cashew color chalk paint. I'm just going to separate these 2, but I will be using the round piece. And I'm just going to glue some of these little wooden cubes together just to make like a stem, and I'm gluing them right on top of each other. And then what I'm going to do is, after I glue these together, I am going to take 3 of these cubes and I'm going to glue them together separate. And then I'm just going to take that sideways and glue that sideways, because that's the piece that I'm going to use to attach to one of the trays. And so I'm just going to glue this on by one. I'm going to attach it to the tray just like this. The reason why I glued it this way is because I'm going to check and see if this is the length I want my trays to be separate. If not, I'll just have to detach it from one little cube and glue it down. I think this is too tall, so I may knock one of the cubes down a little bit. And I'm not worried about how that looks because I will be covering those up. And so once I get this glued down, as you can see, I did come down a little bit, but I will be covering that up. And so now what I'm going to do is go in with my antique wax color chalk paint, and I'm going to paint this tray as well as the little round piece. And so after I get everything painted with this color, I am going to distress it with that cashew color. Now what I'm going to do is just go around the edges of these trays with the color first, and then I'm going to lightly brush over the tray, because what I'm trying to mimic is the color of those wooden stick log pieces that I used in the first DIY, because I will be attaching these to this tray. And so I'm just going to distress around the trimming of the trays first, and then I'll go over the tray lightly brushing it. And I'm going to do the same thing and brush over the little round piece as well. And this is my desired color, and I'm just going to lightly brush over this as well. And then after I finish that, I'm going to get all of my pieces that I am going to style this tray with, and I'm going to use some of this duster head. I also have some more of those little log stick pieces that I'll be using. I have 2 bags of these little scented pine cones. I have a bag and a half, and then I have 2 of these little Christmas picks with the cottontails on them. I will be using this stencil, and I'll be using the word joy. I found this cute little counter holder, and it has this decor already on it with this little buffalo check ribbon. And so what I'm going to do first is just cut me off a piece of this, because I'll be adding this to the top of the tray. I also will be using one of those little chalkboard tags here from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to remove the string, because this is where I'm going to stencil the word joy onto. So I'm just going to get my stencil, and I am going to use the white acrylic paint for this part, and I'm just going to use my little round foam brush, and I'm going directly up and down on top of the joy as well as the little decor design right under the word joy. And I'm just going up and down. I'm not using a whole lot of paint. And once I get that done, then I am going to take this little tag and I am going to glue it to the back of this round piece here. And I'm just going to glue the round piece right on top of that. And as you can see, I tried to match these little sticks. And so these sticks, I am gluing around the piece that I attached these two trays together, and that's why I was trying to get this color to be as closely as possible. I know it may be hard for you to see what I'm doing, but I'm taking these pieces and I'm just gluing them, laying them right up against the little pedestal, the little wooden pedestal, and I'm gluing these around. And so I'm going to show you, I just glued the sticks all around the stem in the middle, just like that. And now I'm going to start adding my decor to my tray. And I'm just going to add that there. And then I'm going to take my little candle holder and set that up top. I am going to remove the cottontail from that because I want that to be at the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is put my pine cones in the bottom tray. And I am using just a bag and a half because that's all I had. And then I did remove that cottontail because I want that at the bottom since I already got some white fluff at the top. And I'm just going to add that other Christmas pick on top with the pine cones. And then I'm going to take my joy sign and I'm either going to glue it on the side or no, I'm going to go in the middle with that. And once I add my hot glue, I'm going to attach my joy sign right to the center of this top tray. And then this DIY will be complete. And here's a second look of all of the DIYs that I completed today. I think everything turned out so nice. I love the color of this tray. This is so pretty. I was going for like a high-end buffalo check look, and I think everything turned out really great. I absolutely love this tray. I love the vase with the sticks in the bottom. Everything just turned out so great. Let me know in the comment box below, as always, which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And if you like this video, please remember to give it thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. I thank you so much for watching my videos, and your support is truly, truly appreciated. I love that scrapbooking paper on that joy sign. That is actually one of my favorite scrapbooking papers from Hobby Lobby, and I love the logs. Everything turned out so great. Remember to always stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.